Nike didn't just drop a logo. They flipped the conversation. One minute it was rumors and why is Nike so quiet? The next minute it was billboards, a teaser, and a clean pair of interlocking C's sliding across your timeline. That's not an update. That's a line in the sand. The navy tee hits Sept 1, the fuller logo apparel hits Oct 1, and the actual signature shoe, Nike says 2026. Translation, they're building an on-ramp, not a one-day splash. If you've watched Caitlin Clark's rise, you know minimalism fits the moment. Two C's concentric. It isn't screaming for attention, it's daring you to look twice. First glance, okay. Second glance, oh, that actually works on everything. Hats, hoodies, the side of a duffel. This is brand architecture, not a meme. Nike's own copy frames it as magnetic and scalable. Logo on tees in weeks, then a full performance line next year. It's the slow click of a seatbelt before the ride drops. In the video, say what you want, but it's classic Nike tension, quiet flexes, moving billboards, and just enough mystery for the internet to start decoding. Fans pointed at 80s and did the calendar math 8 months after August lands you in spring 2026. Is that official? No. Is it exactly the breadcrumb trail Nike loves to leave? Absolutely. Let's keep it real. Speculation is a marketing channel now. Here's why this matters. For months, the narrative wasn't if, but when. Clark's camp watched a storm of think pieces and trending posts asking why Nike seemed behind the moment. Connor McCaffrey even amplified a post clowning the brand's silence earlier this year, which only poured fuel on a fan base that lives online 20. That pressure didn't vanish, it got answered. The reveal doesn't just give Clark a logo, it gives the discourse a pivot. Now zoom out. Nike is the most powerful megaphone in sports retail, and they don't light beacons for no reason. A navy tee on Sept 1 gets you the I was first crowd. The broader apparel on Oct 1 lands before holiday traffic. The 2026 shoe lets them prototype color stories, test price tolerance and plot collaborations without rushing the flagship silhouette. It's patient, it's cold, and it works. Ask any sneakerhead, anticipation is inventory you can't counterfeit. But here's the twist. The moment the logo hit, the timeline didn't just celebrate. It started pairing. Not just do I like this, but how does it stack against Sabrina's S Ages, Star-streaked A Stewie's Puma marks, and Angel's AR Halo? That's good chaos. It puts Clark in a living hall of logos, where every design choice becomes a take, a clip, a comment section with a pulse. Nike wants that noise. It keeps the debate alive all the way to first shoe day. The design's restraint is the real play. Bold, fussy marks can pop on a screen and die on fabric. Simple geometry scales at every size. You can embroider it clean, screen it fast, emboss it on leather, shrink it on a sock tag, blow it up on a court sticker. And because it isn't tethered to a word mark, you don't need a Caitlin Clark caption for recognition. That's where brand becomes symbol, when the symbol walks into the arena before you do. Meanwhile, the league dynamic is shifting. When Nike blesses someone with signature status, it doesn't just print gear, it rearranges camera time, retailer buy-ins, and billboard budgets. The WNBA's job is to ride the wave without drowning everyone else in it. And yes, some fans swear the league's own pages were oddly quiet at first, but receipts show official posts did go up. That contradiction? It's exactly how online narratives form. Half glance, hot take, and boom. Now everyone's arguing vibes instead of facts. That argument pulls more eyeballs to the logo. Mission accomplished. Let's talk timing strategy. Nike starting with a navy tee is sly. It hits fever colors without locking them into an early shoe palette. It invites UGC tunnel fits, campus fits, pickup runs, and first day it dropped selfie posts. Then Octon widens the net hoodies for cold games, shorts for open gyms, kids sizes for holiday gifting. You can almost see the internal deck seed the symbol now. Let the athlete rest and rehab if needed, then detonate the shoe in season. If the fan eights theory is right, that's just enough distance to prime a monster day one. If it's wrong, the speculation still did its job. And the cleanest part? This rollout neutralizes the Nike slept on her narrative. For a year, headlines and fans grumbled about delays and missed moments. Now there's a calendar people can argue with. Not just about. Even critics who call the design too safe are engaging with it. And engagement is the currency that pushes retailers to increase orders, floors to set end caps, and broadcast partners to ask for co-branded segments on marquee nights. That's how a logo becomes leverage. But that wasn't the only storyline firing. On the other side of the table, Reebok circled Sept 18 for Angel Reese's first signature shoe, the Angel Reese 1. In 3 distinct colorways at once. Different brand, different vibe, louder aesthetics, pop culture crossovers, and a haloed AR mark that looks great on socials. 2 rollouts, 2 philosophies, 1 inevitable comparison machine. And we're just getting started. 2 brands, 2 blueprints, 1 spotlight. Nike laid out a measured, multi-month runway for Caitlin Clark, navy tee on Sept 1, fuller logo apparel on Oct 1, and a signature shoe in 2026, giving fans a calendar and retailers a plan. It's deliberate: seed the symbol, then scale the story. Reebok, meanwhile, chose the pop-off. Reese's Angel Reese 1 hits September 18, 2025, in 3 colorways with a $120 MSRP. It's loud, confident, and designed to live on tunnels and timelines as much as courts. Exactly in step with Reese's persona. Reebok's own press room and product pages confirm the date, the price, and that first trio of colorways. Here's the nuance that gets lost in the noise. There are no public sales numbers yet. What we have right now is perception, clips, comments, and a running score of who feels hotter this week. That perception is shaped by 2 things more than anything: timing and optics. Nike's reveal landed first, with mainstream amplification that spelled out concrete drop windows. Reebok's counterpunch comes mid-September, with an actual shoe in hand. Both strategies can work, they just work on different clocks. But optics don't happen in a vacuum. Chicago held Candace Parker's jersey retirement on Oct 25-26, and the night produced a flashpoint. Sky players in CP3 tribute, warm-ups, and Angel Reese appearing to keep her jacket zipped over the shirt. Coverage flagged it, discourse did the rest. Layer in context: Parker had recently slotted Reese in the C tier during a tier ranking segment, and you get a ready-made subplot that drowns out any quiet product buildup. The irony? Reese actually delivered history-adjacent production that night. She posted 10 points, 17 rebounds for her 20th double-double of the season, a WNBA mark for the most double-doubles in a player's first 2 seasons, while Chicago battled the Aces on Parker's big stage. Great basketball, swallowed by a wardrobe narrative. That's what optics means in 2025. The clip wins the timeline even when the box score deserves it. Brand-wise, Reebok is betting on voice, a shoe with personality, a halo-style AR mark that pops in thumbnails, and day 1 colorways with made-to-trend names. Nike is betting on inevitability, a clean CC symbol that prints on everything, a drip feed of apparel to normalize the mark, and a 2026 shoe that arrives pre-sold by a year of repetition. Neither approach is wrong. One courts immediate sell-through, the other cultivates mindshare until launch. Online, that difference sparks the inevitable "who's the face" argument. It doesn't matter that these athletes sell to overlapping, but not identical audiences. It doesn't matter that one drops apparel first, and one drops footwear first. Debate is the oxygen of modern marketing. The second you rank logos, argue tunnels, or dissect a jacket zipper, you're doing the work for them, keeping both rollouts in circulation. And yes, Nike's teaser run did exactly what it was supposed to do: generate weeks of chatter about when the shoe hits, not if. And on the Nike side, clarity murdered the dragging their feet narrative. For months, fans and even Connor McCaffrey were side-eyeing the brand for moving slow with Clark. A single newsroom post with dates flips that script in an instant. All the "where is" energy becomes "here's what's next." That's how you turn a criticism into a countdown. But that still isn't the whole story. The next piece of this puzzle is design. Why do some marks read instantly on a hat or heel tab while others get lost? Why did Sabrina's Asaija's star-infused Astui's Puma line, and now Clark's CC land such different reactions, and what actually sticks at retail? Put every current hoops mark on a hat and squint. Which ones still read from 5 meters away? That's the test, because what wins on a high-res phone render doesn't always survive embroidery, heel tabs, or broadcast zooms. Caitlin's interlocking CC is basically geometry. 2 rings, subtle layering, high contrast. It's calm on a tee and sharp as a small badge. Nike's newsroom framed it as the start of a larger 2026 collection, not a one-off, so the symbol has to function everywhere: hoodies, shorts, kids' sizes, and eventually a shoe tongue. That constraint is why minimal beats clever 9 times out of 10. The comparison set matters. Sabrina Ionescu's S arrived with a unisex collection that the league and even NBA players picked up, which tells you the mark translated cleanly across sizes and audiences. It has a distinctive spine and never gets muddy at small scale. That's why it became a tunnel favorite for both women and men early on. Ajay Wilson's A1 came in hot pink launch, sold-out headlines, and a star-inflected A that doubles as signature and status. The logo works because it's literally her handwriting motif simplified into an icon. The story is embedded in the shape. Nike's own copy leaned into that. The star she always draws inside the A becomes the centerpiece. When a mark is biographical, people remember it without reading a caption. Breanna Stewart with Puma is a different template. Performance first line with a visual language, quiet fire, water to flame, that's more sculptural than letter form. On footwear, That can be killer. The upper and midsole do the storytelling when the logo isn't the whole show. It also set a modern baseline by putting a woman's name back on a signature basketball shoe after a long drought, which changed how brands talk about this category. Now drop Angel Reese's rollout into the grid. Reebok is pushing a bolder silhouette and a halo-style AR motif, visually loud in photos. Tailor-made for social, the Angel Reese 1 hits September 18, 2025 at $20 in 3 day one colorways. That sequence announced with attitude. Land the shoe quickly. Keep the price accessible. Optimizes for immediate I bought these posts, which is a different kind of logo proof. If the pictures flood the timeline, the mark sticks by repetition. So what actually makes a Hoops logo retail sticky? Negative space discipline. The shape should breathe on a hoodie chest and still read on a lace keeper. CC passes the micro test. Sabrina's S and Age's star A do too. Stewie's line leans more on shoe sculpture than a single letter form. Different route, same goal. Frictionless printing. Clean edges cut clean screens. Fewer edges is fewer fails. That's why brands love circles, diagonals, and mono-weight accents. You can feel Nike's operations team smiling at CC's simplicity. One glance identity. If a fan sees the hat once and can doodle it from memory, you're winning. Aja's star A nails this, because it's literally her mark. Sabrina's S has that exact draw-me quality. Story you can say in a sentence. 2 C's for Caitlin is easy. Star in the A for Asia is easy. If you need a paragraph, you've lost the register clerk. Where does the CC sit on the board today? It's not flashy, and that's the point. As a fabric-first symbol ahead of a 2026 shoe, it behaves like a stamp. Repeatable, stackable, easy to co-brand with team colors. That makes retailers happy. Fewer returns, broader audience. Nike's timing T now. Fuller apparel. Octo 1 shoe next year is engineered to let the logo normalize before the sneaker war begins. On the other bench, Reebok x Reese is already in the shoe fight this month. That's a brand calculus. Do you harvest attention while everyone's chattering about Clark? Or do you wait? Reebok chose the Sprint Sept 18 launch. 3 looks and a price fans can hit without saving for months. If the AR1 delivers on-court clips and strong tunnel shots out of the gate, that logo becomes shorthand for fun and fearless, which is exactly Reese's lane. The last variable is optics. A clean mark can be drowned by a messy narrative, and vice versa. Reese's jacket moment on Candace Parker's jersey retirement night hijacked the convo for 48 hours, even though she put up 10 and 17 and notched her 20th double-double of the season. That's the attention economy. A zipped coat outtrends a historic board night. Meanwhile, Clark's reveal benefited from wall-to-wall mainstream pickup that kept the discussion tethered to the logo and the dates. And yet, this is all Act 1. Clark's symbol will be judged on the shoe it eventually crowns. Reese's AR1 will be judged on feet, grip, comfort, colorways that pop on broadcast. Sabrina, Aja, and Stewie have already proven 3 paths to stickiness: unisex adoption, autobiographical icon, sculptural storytelling. The smart money says we're about to watch those paths collide all season. But that still isn't the whole play. The logos are chess pieces. The board is the league. Next, we'll zoom out, sponsorship math, broadcast placement, youth pipeline, and how a single mark can change who shows up at tryouts or buys their first ticket. This isn't just merch, it's leverage. When Nike plants a flag behind a W player, it pulls a whole ecosystem forward. Retail buys broadcast wipes, sponsor activations, youth clinics, the works. The CC reveal gave buyers something specific to plan around: a Navy logo tee on Sept 1, Fuller logo apparel on Oct 1, and a 2026 signature shoe anchoring the long game. That timeline does 2 things. It trains fans to expect new drops at predictable beats, and it gives Nike months to build stories around the mark before the sneaker war starts. At the same time, Reebok is attacking a different window. Shoe first, clout now. Angel Reese 1 is dated for Sept 18, 2025 at $120 in 3 colorways, an early Q4 footwear play that aims to fill tunnels and timelines, while Nike slow rolls Clark's build-up. It's 2 tempos on the same board. Reebok wants the instant I-copped wave. Nike wants a season of repetition that makes the CC feel inevitable by the time the shoe lands. For the WNBA, the upside is obvious. Clark's logo gives TV producers a graphic language they can flash all season, and that language moves product. Nike's own positioning isn't just about apparel. It explicitly ties Clark to shaping the future of basketball and getting and keeping women and girls on the court, which is code for grassroots investment and pipeline work. The more girls who doodle CC on their notebooks, the more likely they are to ask for a ticket, a jersey, or a camp slot. That's not hype, it's how brand symbols become gateways. But the league has a balancing act. You can let one star headline without turning everyone else into a footnote. Media already lives in comparison mode. Sabrina's SJ's Star A Stewie's Puma line. Now Clark's interlocking C's. So the W needs to program variety. Lean into segments instead of sides. Signature Saturday features mic'd-up shoe tech pieces, cross-team logo stories that show how different signatures solve different problems. When each star gets a lane, fans spend across the set, not just the top line. And yes, ESPN, ABC, Yahoo, People, and others already gave the CC reveal national oxygen. So there's a runway to build from. There's also the optics problem. How fast off-court moments can hijack product narratives. Chicago's Candace Parker jersey retirement night proved it. A zipped jacket over the tribute tee became the clip of the night, even though Angel Reese posted 10 and 17 and set a historic pace with her 20th double-double of the season. The takeaway for every brand team is brutal and simple. Your logo can't outrun a 10-second controversy. You need on-court highlights and daily content to flood the feed back to performance. Reebok's best move is to stack AR1 gym footage, fit checks and early reviews right as the drop hits so the shoe, not the discourse, owns the timeline. What happens next and what to watch? Retail rhythm. Sept 1 Teal, Oct 1 Apparel, Holiday Gift Pull. Watch who gets the biggest CC end caps and which sizes sell out first. That predicts color stories for the 2026 shoe. Yes, outlets keep repeating those dates, and the 2026 shoe confirmation. Fan Easter egg hunting. The teaser with 8 sparked speculation about a spring 2026 shoe launch. It's not official, but it keeps the countdown alive without Nike saying a word. If billboards start popping up again in March, April, you'll know. Rival brand pop. Sept 18 is Reebok's make or break day one. Early on feet clips and first week tunnel fits will decide if the AR1 becomes a recurring character on broadcasts or a one-week story. League amplification. Expect more mainstream segments that package multiple signatures together. It's safer PR and smarter commerce. Put Clark, Aja, Sabrina, Stewie, and Reese into shared features. So the rising tide feels like a plan, not favoritism. ABC, ESPN, and Yahoo already have the pipes open for Clark's rollout. The big picture? This logo shifts sponsorship math. Brands outside footwear, telco, fintech, travel, beverage, now have a clean symbol to license or nod at in co-branded spots. That broadens where the league can hunt for money. It also changes broadcast pacing. You'll see more in-game graphic wipes, more cut-downs of signature athletes between quarters, and more brought to you by stingers tied to player marks. It's not just airtime, it's identity. Does the CC have to be everyone's favorite design? Not really. It just has to be everywhere. Nike's plan is repetition. Show it on tee, hoodie, courtside towel, and finally a shoe tongue, so often that by the time 2026 hits, the silhouette feels like it's always been there. That's how Jordan's Jumpman and Nadal's Bull became second nature. Years of placement before a single ad told you what to think. Clark now has that runway. Meanwhile, the Reebok lane is valuable for the league's competitive health. If AR1 pops price point, style, and personality, it proves there's room for multiple women's signatures to thrive at once. That's the real win. Not one logo to rule them all, but a shelf where 5 or 6 marks sit comfortably. Because the audience got bigger, not just louder. And with Chicago's ceremony week, reminding everyone how quickly storylines can tilt, teams will push to keep the conversation anchored to games and gear, not sideline frames. So where do we land? On a future where a kid buys her first WNBA ticket because she saw a symbol she liked on a hoodie at the mall. On a season where a pregame segment breaks down shoe tech like it's a scouting report. On a fan base that argues logos the way older heads argue X's and O's, and then shows up to watch those symbols actually hoop. Whether you're Team CC or Team AR1 or loyal to the star already in your closet, this is the part that matters. The board is bigger now, and that was the point all along.